Welcome to Listen to Your Skin by Moon and Skin, the podcast where science meets nature to celebrate the story of your skin. Your skin is a living canvas, ever evolving, deeply personal, and uniquely yours. Each week, we'll dive into the science of healthy skin, share empowering stories, and uncover transformative self-care rituals. We're here to help you embrace every phase of your journey with confidence and care. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Listen to Your Skin by Moon and Skin. And I'm your host and board-certified dermatologist, Dr. Jen Haley. And this week on the show, I have an aesthetic skincare expert joining us, Tatyana Treistman. Welcome. She's a licensed clinical esthetician, a certified laser technician, and a certified laser safety officer with a deep passion for customized skincare solutions. Her journey started in Ukraine, where she honed her craft by creating personalized skincare products, and that dedication to tailored care has been the foundation of her career. Tatyana is constantly exploring advanced techniques in lifting, sculpting, and fascia release, always striving for the best results for her clients. For her, aesthetics isn't just a profession. It's a passion where client satisfaction and visible transformations are the ultimate rewards. Tatyana, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you have a really, really unique background. Can you share how you got started in the aesthetic industry?
I started when I was in my late teens. I think I was 19 in Ukraine. Back then, I hope things changed now, but when I was working, I had to make my own skincare creams, lotions, cleansing milks, and all of it because we did not have a bag bar. There was nothing to buy. It was all us making it every day. Actually, every day I would bring to work jars, big jars, and it would be empty by the time I go home. So I started and I worked a couple of years in Ukraine. Then I moved to United States. San Francisco was my first stop. I went to beauty school and I graduated. And then my life turned a little bit different way for diversion for some time. I had my daughter was young and I was divorcing my first husband. So being an esthetician takes a little bit of time to start making money, get on your feet. Takes 2 years at least. I didn't have 2 years, so I had to do something very, something different. And I was in Silicon Valley. And that time, .com boom was booming. And I decided, okay, I'm going to switch to this field for now. So I took some classes and I went to software development. And I was comfortable, very comfortable doing that, getting nice paycheck. My skincare was just me at that time. Still loved it. I was still making some lotions just for my friends who had, my friend's husband, he has irritation after he was shaving. So I would make something for him. Or my other friend's daughter had acne, so I would make something for her. It was my little, help you here, help you there. And for me, I think, staying in touch with what I love to do. And I was doing that until, I'm still in software development. So I'm here in Arizona. Again, I went to beauty school. And I decided I'm going to do this because I love it. And that brings me, satisfaction because I guess when we work, when we do something and if it stops fulfilling you inside, my computer journey is at that point right now when I don't feel satisfaction. It's boring. It's not, it's changed a lot too. And I am not finding myself, I'm not seeing myself doing this for longer.
It's so interesting as I'm watching you talk about your journey, right? When I hear you talk about how you almost are an apothecary and you're creating these formulations that are so personalized for friends, for family, for yourself, you have this like aura glow around you, right? And I think your journey is so beautiful because most of us in our lives, we sometimes will have to do something that maybe isn't our passion in order for our passion to grow. And I also feel that when you're creating something from scratch like you have, there is this understanding about like the mechanism of how things work rather than just grabbing something off the shelf because somebody told you that it works for A, B, or C. Can you how do you even begin? How do you even formulate these custom formulations? Like what's the mechanism of action or the thought process behind the art of that? Because I can clearly see you're super creative and artistic.
So I started with recipes that I bring with me from Ukraine.
Yeah.
And then here I can modify these recipes depending on, first of all, I have resources here more than I had there. We have Amazon and we have internet. And I would do research so I have a friend of mine, she has these concerns. So I would look for what will help better into my recipe. What can I add? What I can substitute? How can I make it work so she gets better results, so it will work better for her? What kind of actives I can use? And I would start looking for where I can find it. And I go for best ingredients that I can put my hands on. So for example, my oils I was getting from Canada, from the mountains when the flowers are growing. They were making oils from that. So it was, it's a very individual, it's very thought process. But it starts from my recipes that I brought with me from Ukraine.
That's so beautiful. I feel like the best secrets come from nature overall, and they are transferred down and down to the generations. But eventually, we have to try to find something that works for most people. Like idealistically,
Yes.
creating a bespoke plan for everyone is the best. So as you're talking about the flowers from the mountains, I'm thinking of hormesis. Do you know the hormetic effect? Like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yes.
So that's how microneedling comes into play because we make small little holes in someone's skin. And in response, it forms thicker collagen.
Right.
And too much trauma causes a scar, right? We don't want that.
Right.
And flowers that grow in harsh environments, like the mountains where there's a paucity of nutrients and the weather is hard, they have typically more benefits. Like Himalayan tartary buckwheat has like a lot of nutritional properties. So it's really interesting that you've been able to find these things. So when you're looking at a client, okay, let's take a step back. If you're thinking about like most people's skin, someone who's in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s, like what's a basic skincare regimen that you start people on outside of your office? And then I want to talk about your special facials because,
In my mind and in my, I guess, experience, what I know is sometimes or most of the time, less is more. I don't like, honestly, I don't like when people have, or somebody tells them, you have 8 steps routine. First, nobody's going to do it. They're just not going to do it because it takes time. And it's too much. It's too much for the skin. So I always go for essentials, what our skin needs. And our skin really needs essentials to stay healthy, to be more resilient, to fight free radicals. So I would go for, well, cleanse, obviously. It's a very big part. You have to clean, you have to find the right cleanser that will not strip the oils, that will not make you dry, but will take makeup off. So your skin is clean and ready for the next step. And then toner, which will work on your pH of the skin to prep for the next step. And serum and cream. Very easy. I Everyone needs vitamin A. Everyone needs vitamin C. Everyone needs antioxidants. So these three things are the essentials. And I start everyone on just basic essential skincare. And what's also very important is consistency. Do it every day, morning and night, to see the results. And when skin is healthy, when we get there, when we get to the healthy skin, then I can start suggesting, okay, now let's do exfoliation. Let's add more vitamin A or more vitamin C. Let's introduce peptides slowly. I think it's the saying, when you walk slower, you get farther. And I really believe in that.
That is, I resonate with that 100%. I couldn't agree more with you. Do you think there is anyone that doesn't need toner or shouldn't use toner?
I think, for example, hydrating toners everyone can use.
So it's more about finding the right toner.
Finding the right toner, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. For example, if I have different toners in my studio that I working with, and somebody I suggest use this toner to combat your acne, I would not use it on someone who wants to do some anti-aging or so yes, different toners. Some toners are exfoliating toners, and that I would use for a different clientele. But hydrating toners everyone can use, especially here in Arizona. We're so dry here.
Yeah. Okay, so typical morning cleanse, tone. Vitamin C, hydration.
Yeah, vitamin A, vitamin C, I'm saying vitamin A. I work with vitamin A. It comes, as you know, different forms, different concentrations. So start with something very light. You can do it morning. And sunscreen. Sunscreen is the must at the end. In the mornings, yeah.
Okay, and what do you have people look for with sunscreen?
Mostly not to have a white cast on their skin. Because nobody wants to look like a ghost.
And they're not going to use it. Let's be honest here. Like, no one's going to use it if they don't like the feel of it, the cosmetic elegance.
Exactly. And, transparent, that gives the glow, and protection. Protection is the biggest thing. That's why we put it on, to protect our skin from sun rays and damage that damages our DNA.
Right.
And then we have to repair it.
Okay, so how do you modify their skincare routine at home from their 30s into their 50s as hormones change?
Yeah, so as hormones change, it affects us on the cellular level, right? So it creates more oxidative stress. Free radicals are living in us, and we need to fix that. So I would add antioxidants, more antioxidants, retinol, more vitamin A, and antioxidants to give this missing. So everything we breathe, we eat, breaks down into molecules in our bodies. And when molecule is missing the electrons, right? Electrons has to be in pairs. So if one is missing, it creates free radical. So the antioxidants that we eat, we apply in our skin, they're giving this extra electrons to make a pair. So antioxidants is a big one that I like to include. Also for at home, I educate my clients how they can microneedle themselves almost every night before they put their serums on. There are microneedling rollers. It's not medical grade microneedling, it's very light, but it's physically opening the channels on your skin. And when you put your skincare on, serums, your creams, toners, everything gets into the skin where it should be. So it opens the channels. Otherwise, anything we put in our skin penetrates only 4 to 6%, so very little. And as we get older, we need more. We need more antioxidants. We need more vitamin A because our bodies cannot, not as strong as when we were young to deal with free radicals.
Right. Okay, so say someone's in their early 40s and they get that hormonal kind of breakouts around the jaw and the chin, and they come to see you and they're the global ambassador seeing you in your office. They say, "Help me, Tatyana, I have a wedding this weekend." How do you approach that? Or let's give you a couple weeks for the wedding. You have a wedding in a couple weeks.
It's challenging. It's challenging. I'd like to start prior. Well, first of all, I would ask her to, can you please do your labs and see what's going on and get your hormones in order to see, what's happening. I don't like to put Band-Aids on. I like to go to the root cause and fix the root cause, whatever it is. Teenager, hormonal, breakouts for later in life. But if that happens, I would bring down the inflammation. I would try to bring down the inflammation. So I talk about diet. Okay, let's exclude sugar, chocolate, coffee, spicy food. Let's get all this, maybe milk, maybe dairy, if she has some allergic reaction, or dairy is inflammatory food anyways. Yeah, so anti-inflammatory food for sure. Deep pore cleansing for sure, and antioxidants, colostrum, antioxidants to bring inflammation down, at least in the meantime before the wedding.
What would you do topically to reduce the inflammation?
Colostrum, serums. I would do antioxidant gel. LED helps. I have in my possession ultrasound with LED that brings down a lot of inflammation. Oxygen.
That's amazing. I have never used colostrum topically on the skin. So with that inflammatory jaw-like acne, I've seen it for over 20 years as a dermatologist, and 99% of the time the labs are completely clear.
Okay.
Like the labs are normal, and it's really interesting because what I think is going on is we have more receptors on the skin. So while the levels might be normal, the catcher mitts on the skin to the testosterone and the androgens are higher. So like, what are we doing in our environment to cause that kind of wrong reaction, right? With endocrine disruptors like plastics and holding the receipts and the phthalates and things like that. So I always have people really take a look at what they're doing in their lifestyle, to your point, and avoiding the sugar and the dairy. I'm completely on par with that. Yeah. And then sometimes I'll even add in some supplements like spearmint tea twice a day can help with that. So can DIM, broccoli sprouts, sulforaphane flame, and saw palmetto sometimes, and also Vitex. So all of those things can sometimes help. But like you said, we really need to have a full evaluation to find the root cause.
Yes.
But in the meantime, it's nice to know that you could do some things topically like the LED and the colostrum to help with the inflammation.
Yes, and I use it all the time. Also, I do have one supplement that I suggest some of my clients to use. It works wonders. Cystic acne, gone. So it works on the liver. It cleans your liver, but the side effect is your skin. It clears the skin. And I had teenagers, my friends, actually these are my friends' sons, who had the worst hormonal acne with cysts on chest and on the back, everything that is sweating, especially when they're playing sports. And I did the, deep pore cleansing. The pus was flying into but I love it. If somebody says, I love it. I'm like, yes, I got it. I asked them, if you can get the supplement, go to your doctor, because it's not over the counter. You have to have, I think, contract with this company that produces it, and take it for a couple of months. and it clears everything from the inside. The cyst will dissolve.
Do you know what's in the supplement?
I don't remember, but it's natural.
Oh, what's the name? I bet it's from Full Script account.
I don't remember. The name is Dermaco. Derma, C-O.
Okay. I bet it does liver
It's
detoxification.
something standard. The name of the company is Standard.
Okay.
Standard.
So basically it's focusing on liver detoxification because at the end of the day, if we get out of the way of our body can heal itself. So we have to just make room for our body by minimizing the amount of chemicals that come in and allow our body to naturally do everything it wants to do. Then we'll have clear skin.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your facials.
Okay.
They're very unique.
My facials are unique. I love holistic approach for when my clients come to me, they say, I want a facelift. Well, I can't cut your skin and do a facelift. I would be a plastic surgeon at that point. So I like holistic approach. I work with fascia. I work with muscles. I work with bone as well. So when for example, if somebody comes to me who doesn't believe in Botox or they don't like, injections, they want to stay away from it, we start face down. Because if you think about it, fascia on your forehead starts from your eyebrows, goes all over the back of your body to your feet. Yeah, that's one piece. So if this piece, and it gets drier as we get older, the moisture is gone. It gets stuck to other layers in between. So there's a myofascia, there's a fascia, there's more superficial layers. It pulls, and that's how we create wrinkles on our forehead. So I start with the back. I release tension from the lower back. I go all the way up. I go all the way on aponeurosis, on top of the head, and then we turn face up. My approach is different. For jowls, for example, I do buccal massage. I massage inside the mouth. I release tension in masseters, which creates lift in a second. What I like to do, I do it on one side, and I give my client a mirror. Look at yourself, and she sees completely two different sides. I do believe in natural approach and holistic way of bringing not back the youth. It's you. It's still you. You just release the tension in your muscles, because when we're kids, wouldn't put tension in our muscles, right? So, and we are lifted and happy, and we look differently. And then we grow up, and we get all these emotions that we store in our bodies. And these emotions affect the way we look. Face is an emotional part, very much. We express our emotions in our face, and sometimes we don't. But emotion is there, and it sits there. And it sits in your masseters a lot, because you want to scream, you want to raise your voice, but you don't, and it goes there. So when I go in and release the tension in the muscles, face looks different.
Okay, as soon as we're done, I want you to do me.
Yes, please.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's interesting. I don't know why more people don't do this, because everything you're saying makes complete sense. And it makes complete, logical, amazing sense. And I always think of the skin as, it's draping us and what's going on underneath. And I look at it as more, as we get older, we lose our bone, we lose our muscle. So it's really important to keep your bone mass and your muscle mass. You're also talking about this physiological action component that maybe you're driving to work and you're making these faces and they're sticking around. So get to the cause of that through your technique.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so it is different. I do like when I can release the tension in my clients. When a person comes to me, they're looking for something. They come to me because they want to look better. They come to me because they want to feel better. And I'm there to give it to them. And I love it. I love it because I know I can give it to them, and I know I can elevate this person. I know she's going to walk out and she's going to feel good and she's going to look good and she's going to get this confidence. And this is my goal. So I do start with maybe emotional release, and we do some breathing exercises. Let's breathe deep. Let's let it go. Leave everything behind this door. We're here for you. So just relax and enjoy. So many times I've heard at the end, this is what I needed. Thank you so much. And that is beyond, for me, it's the money is just the bonus at this point. This is what I was looking for, and I'm so happy that she got that, and I was able to give it to her. So that's manual part of facial with me. And then I always finish, if there's no contraindications, with microcurrent. I big believer in microcurrent. Microcurrent for face is if you are taking your face to the gym to lift some weights. When we're lifting weights, we're also helping with bone density. Mm-hmm. So this is mimicking the weightlifting. So I would always go over with some microcurrent to give this, so I release the tension, everything is relaxed and sculpted, and then microcurrent it's like, polishing on top to give it longevity, longer lasting results.
Yes. I love listening. I want to reach over and touch your leg. You feel so far from me because as you're talking, it's coming to me that at the end of the day, everyone wants to have a deep sense of purpose and connection with each other, and that's the most fulfilling thing. And with the microcurrent, basically, you're stimulating the muscles, and the muscles send out signals called myokines, which strengthen the bones. And you're doing that strategically. Obviously, it can go wrong if people don't do it right. And as far as the other special facial, I don't know if you have a name for it, how many sessions does it take, and how often do you have people do it? I imagine it just depends on the situation.
Yes, depends on the person's or personal. We do sessions. Mm-hmm. So if it's manual facelift, that I call it manual facelift, 8 to 10 sessions once a week, and then once a month to maintain results. And my facials I don't have a menu. If I get new client, they would ask me, do you have a menu? What do you do? Well, I do everything. It's not hard to make your skin glow. Everybody can do that with a product. Right product, of course, right product, good product, and I use very good product. But you will get what you need today. So you came to me today with certain concerns. We're going to concentrate on these concerns. So your facial today is going to be different from next time. And third time, it might be different because your skin changed. You want something else, and we're going to work on something else, it's pigmentation, or it's going to be microneedling, which is completely different facial.
Right. Well, that's how life is, though. We eat different foods every day.
Yes.
We do different exercises. We connect differently with people. We're in different moods. So why are we going to do the same stagnant thing every single time? It's not serving someone.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And my facials are 90 minutes to 2 hours. I take my time. I want to make sure I give everything that my client needs. And everybody lives relaxed, lifted, sculpted, glowing. That's the goal.
I love it so much because we love skincare. I mean, skincare is the basics. It's like you have to do your skincare just like you brush your teeth every day. And it helps with the texture of your skin, the tone of your skin, evening out your skin tone and reducing fine lines and wrinkles. What you're talking about is something that I've always believed in. There's so much more to it. There's many, many levels and many layers of how we show up in the world. And then after the skin tone and texture, now we're looking at the structure underneath, like the scaffolding and the support system of the bones and the muscles and how that makes everything hang. But even more importantly than that, it's like releasing that emotional, feeling more aligned with yourself, and authentic and showing up in the way that we're all meant to show up. And that's like true beauty, right?
It is. It's coming from the inside. That's the glow that you cannot do it with any product. It just comes through the eyes and the posture. I mean, yes.
I think that's such a good way to end. I just want to ask you, is there anything else that you want to share that you feel is pressing to share with the audience today that I haven't asked or we haven't touched on?
I think that facials today are different facials. And it's not the same, I don't know, puff, 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 puff. It's completely different. So if you have time and you would like to feel something different, make an appointment and try the facial.
Yeah, so you're saying that they're almost being commoditized. So just because it says facial, they're not all created equal. So really find out what your practitioner, what your esthetician is doing for you, because there are many options out there. So you have to find the right thing.
There are lots of options out there for a product as well. And for consumer, I cannot even imagine how complicated this field is. Sometimes it's complicated for us because there's so much. Find a professional who knows what they're doing and you trust, and go. Don't wait. Some people wait. Don't wait. Just go and try it,
right?
And you'll be hooked.
Yep. It's a consistency that matters.
Yes, exactly.
So how do people find you? And then if they don't live in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area, is there anywhere to find people that do what you do?
Yes.
Start with you.
Yes, they can contact me. So I always learn something new, always. I never stop. And I travel. I take classes in different states. Recently, I took class in Russia. I didn't travel to Russia. I did it over the internet. It was 3.5 months school that I did. Very interesting, super interesting. It was hard. It was very hard with my schedule. The lessons were hard. I had to record every single lesson on the video and send it to them, and I would get a feedback how I did, if I need to change something, if I have questions, I can ask questions. So when I take these classes, I meet people like me from different states. So we have this, connection. I call us crazy people. We meet there, and we communicate. So if I know someone, and I've sent lots of people to my girls from different states, especially at my work at a hotel, because people come from different states and they're looking for something like that. And I tell them, yes, I know someone I can send you to.
Okay, but how do they find you?
Word of mouth, mostly.
No, how can the listeners find you? Are you on
my
social media?
I am on social media, yes. I have Instagram account. They can contact me through my Instagram.
Which is?
It's I need to change my handle. I think it's so long. Tatyana _Treistman _cosmetolog with K. I mean, maybe if you're listening to this podcast, maybe they'll put something underneath like my handle because I don't know. My phone number is 480-313.
So we can find you at the Global Ambassador.
Yes.
In Phoenix.
Yes.
And we will have your Instagram handle in the show notes. And I'm going to schedule with you next week.
Please.
Thank you, Tatyana. I love having you on.
Thank you so much for having me here. This is my first podcast. I hope I did good. I don't know.
You have so many layers, and we're going to slowly unwrap the gift that you are on multiple episodes. So you will be back. You'll see her again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Listen to Your Skin by Moon & Skin. It's an honor to be part of your skincare journey. And if you love this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave us a glowing review, and share it with someone who's passionate about their skincare journey. And please connect with us on social to ask your questions, which will drive future educational episodes.